Welcome, everyone, to this special event, Global Silent 5 Minutes, coming together in silence to heal our world. Welcome to all those who are tuning in at this time in preparation for 5 minutes of silence together, silence as action, at the top of this hour, 2 p.m. GMT. We'd like to take a moment as we open and want to thank John and Summer Raymer with Sign Network and Compassion Games for making so much possible for all of us all the time, and especially during these times. And Summer, if you would.
Thank you so much, Dot Meaver, and just welcome everyone that's here in this Zoom room, such an amazing group of people. And for those of you that are here live with us, and really, I'm really grateful to be here. And for those that can't be here, that are on the front lines, literally risking their lives as we speak and connect here at this moment of healing. And for those that unfortunately have passed through these times, just really want to welcome that presence into this space, and such deep gratitude for those that are in the grocery stores, that are still in the airports, and the healthcare and the medical people that are just really the warriors and heroes and sheroes of these moments.
So let us just take a moment of silence in honor of. So we come together today, our hearts unite across distance. And there are many behind the scenes who have helped to bring this event to fruition. And I'd like to introduce one of them now. Tim Boyd is the International President of the Theosophical Society, an organization that has been active in the field of human transformation since 1875. Its headquarters are in Chennai, India. Tim, it is a joy to journey with you.
Well, thank you, Dot. And thanks to all of the people who are tuning into this, and also to all the speakers who are here to share with us all. This is a difficult moment for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves in the world. One of the beauties of this moment, as all, is that crisis such as this has its own gifts. One of the great gifts that we have all witnessed out of this particular moment has been the awareness of a fact, the fact that we are all interconnected. Unity, interdependence, all of this has been made very clear by this viral moment. But more than the physical aspect of it, there is something beyond just illness and cure. All of us participate at deeper levels. We all share in a global consciousness, just like fish in water. So with that said, what is it that we can do as the seemingly limited individuals we think ourselves to be? Obviously, social distancing and the medical and scientific advice that we receive, that's a must. Thought is powerful. We have to become much more aware and much more creative in our use of positive, uplifting thought, monitor ourselves. But beyond thought, the reason for this moment is that there's a power that exceeds thought: silence. Silence provides an unobstructed access to a power, to a presence, to a love that exceeds our personal will. The focus of this moment is on healing and on the virus. But I think we all know that this moment will pass. In our commitment to stillness and to silence, we prepare ourselves to shape something together, to shape a world that is yet to come, the world that lies on the other side of this pandemic. It's a world of our hopes and our dreams if we recognize it and utilize this moment properly. Let's use this moment well, because it doesn't last. So at this point, it's my privilege to be able to introduce our next participant, Sri Ravi Shankar, who is a globally recognized spiritual and humanitarian leader. He has spearheaded an unprecedented worldwide movement for a stress-free and violence-free society. He's involved in a myriad of programs, myriad of teachings. He has a network of organizations. Primary among those is the Art of Living. And he has a rapidly growing presence in 156 countries in the world. So Ravi Shankar, Sri Ravi Shankar, Guru Dev has shared a video.
Our thought has enormous power because all our actions are by our thought, mostly by our thoughts, and thought is that which propels us to do an action. At this time, in the world when we are faced with this pandemic, we all should use our power of thought and power of silence. And we have enormous strength that nature has bestowed in our consciousness. So let us all take this sankalpa or this determination, this intention, put this intention in our consciousness to win over the pandemic, the corona pandemic. So I'm sure the collective consciousness has tremendous power to change things on the planet Earth. It's one thought that propels us to do many things. Even after many years, the power of thought is such that you accomplish things. But the vikalpas, the opposite of our intentions, also come in. And how to counter that? This can be countered by prayer, by devotion, by recognizing the infinite power of the Almighty. So this is the time we feel connected with each other and with our own self and the consciousness which is governing the whole universe, and have this intention of winning over the pandemic that is causing fear, aggression, tension in the whole world. Along with this, what we need to do our bit of seva, service to those who really need.
Like to thank Gurudev, Sri Ravi Shankar, for that message. Now it's also my privilege to introduce Dr. Hr Nagendra, who is an Indian mechanical engineer. He's a yoga therapist, an academic, and a writer, but he's also the founder and vice chancellor of S. Vyasa Yoga University in India, and the Indian Yoga Association. To many people, he's well known as the personal yoga consultant to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India. Dr. Nagendra.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the great effort taken by this wonderful team, and it is most appropriate. According to the Patanjali, yoga is unification, bringing unity. And in unity is strength. And this wonderful program is a manifestation of that unity. Individually, a person will expand his consciousness, will make his mind more and more expansive and merge with the totality that Patanjali called as Kaivalya. Kaivalya or moksha is a state of infinite power, infinite knowledge, infinite freedom, and infinite bliss. And that is our original state from where all of us have taken birth. It's from here the whole creation has come. And it has moved from the Anandamaya Kosha to Vijnanamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, and to the physical body, the Annamaya Kosha. Similarly, in the world at large, we have the physical electromagnetic field, then we have the bioplasmic field, then the astral field of mind, information field of the Vijnanamaya Kosha, intelligent field, and finally the bliss field. These are the 5 layers of creation which are in continual operation. And as individuals, we do our meditation to see that we move from phase of thoughts through concentration, through defocusing, through going into a single thought and merge with that silence. And silence, called as peace, is our causal state. And this is the state of what we call as bliss or Anandamaya Kosha. So the purpose of yoga is not merely a physical exercise, but the science of holistic living to bring about the dimension to greater and greater heights and merge with that. When we have collective consciousness of all of us, each one of us tuning ourselves to that infinite silence, that all-pervasive peace and bliss, then we have the wonderful power that can do anything that is needed. In this crisis, it is time that we all bring our spiritual power to see that we combat the coronavirus, and with every one of you as powerhouses of tremendous capacities and organizational power and directing and large number of people, millions and billion people of the world, we can all join together, then what cannot be achieved? And that is what we want. And let this beautiful program crystallize itself into an act of seva to see that we bring health, harmony, peace, and happiness to everyone in the society. I wish all the best. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to share with you the dimensions from the Indian Yoga Association, which is a conglomerate of all the top yoga masters in the country, and everyone brings great appreciation for your great effort. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Nagendra. Deep appreciation. It is now my great joy to welcome Olivia Hansen. Olivia is the president and founder of the Synthesis Foundation and the Spiritual Life TV channel. She collaborates with leaders of consciousness around the world and shares practical wisdom for spiritual living on her TV channel. Welcome, Olivia.
Thank you, Dot. And hello, everyone. It gives me great joy to share with you that His Holiness the Dalai Lama knows about our global meditative endeavor. And while he's not endorsing any specific initiative, he is definitely encouraging our idea of meditation, prayer, and silence. And I'd like to share some of his words with you. The Dalai Lama said, prayer is good, but prayer is not enough. We must also take responsibility and add active compassion and doing all we can to help others during the pandemic crisis. Helping others is a good way to help yourself too and promote your own happiness. He said, when we are faced with threats to our health and well-being, it's natural to feel anxiety or fear. Yet no matter how difficult the situation may be, we should employ science and human ingenuity, and with determination and courage to overcome the problems that confront us. He said, I certainly hope that everyone can stay safe and stay calm. At this time of uncertainty, it is important that we do not lose hope and confidence in the constructive efforts that so many people are making. We live in an interdependent world, and we should have confidence that if we all work together and use science, we will get through this. So these are some encouraging words from His Holiness, the Dalai Lama.
Oh, gratitude, Olivia, and we welcome those supportive and heartfelt and compassionate words from His Holiness. Thank you. I now have the joy of welcoming Ben Bowler. Ben is the Executive Director of Unity Earth and convener of the Road to 2020 global series of events designed to foster global spiritual unity. Thank you for being with us, Ben, as you continue to inspire and infire us to greater action on behalf of the common good.
Thank you, Dot, and greetings, brothers and sisters. It's wonderful to be in this field of preparing for the silence with you. And just, the power of silence is something so universal, which comes through all of our traditions, going back to the great indigenous traditions and the Jewish and Christian traditions, the Hindu and Buddhist traditions, and every strand of human spirituality has a special place for that which goes beyond the words and encounters what we find when we go deeply into the silence. So to be here with all of you now, with people from many different traditions where we're hearing from and we'll hear more from now, is a great honor and very, very timely at this time of great crisis on our beloved planet. Our first speaker is from a Jewish background. Gidon Bromberg is the Israeli director and co-founder of EcoPeace. This year celebrating their 25th year of ecological peace building in the Middle East. Gidon was one of the co-hosts, along with his other directors, for a recent journey that Unity Earth took to the Middle East called Holy Land Living Water. Gidon.
Thank you so much, Ben, and thank you everyone for the wonderful opportunity to express some words. And as we go into the silence, I'd like us to appreciate the importance of clean water. We take it so for granted that when we turn on the tap, water might flow, but that's not the reality for many people here in the Middle East and the world over. We need to appreciate that without clean water, then we cannot meet the basic hygienic needs that we need to meet at this moment of crisis with the coronavirus. That there's raw sewage flowing in so many streets around the world, where that virus too can be carried right into people's homes. And therefore, there's a need to cooperate over clean water, to make sure that there's water for all of us and for all of nature, such as the River Jordan, mentioned earlier by Ben, holy to half of humanity. We need to remember that if our neighbors don't have clean water, then they can't take care of themselves. And when they can't take care of themselves, then we can't take care of ourselves either. Because as was said, this is such an interconnected world. And therefore, cooperation over water is not a privilege, it's a necessity that this virus, that this crisis must bring home. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Gidon Bromberg. Thank you for your leadership and your incredible example of justice and peace and ecological peace building in very challenging context in the Holy Land in the Middle East. It's wonderful to have you with us. Our next speaker is someone we're also delighted to have, Father Josh Strom Kurithodam. Father Josh Strom Isaac Kurithodam works directly with Pope Francis at the Vatican Dicastery for Promoting Integral Human Development. He is the author of the 10 Green Commandments of Laudato Si. And Father Josh Strom, it's a real honor to have you with us today.
Hello, best wishes and praise from the Vatican. It's a great joy and honor for me to represent Pope Francis in this beautiful moment of silence when we come together to act. I would like to propose the example of Pope Francis. If you remember, 3 weeks ago, he led a moment of prayer in the St. Peter's Choir. The choir was empty. It was mostly a silent prayer. But that moment, that silence did 3 things. And I hope the same miracle can happen here. The first thing was that it was silence that united the entire world. It was a silence that embraced the whole of creation, and especially the poor. And silence can do that. The second thing was that it was a silence that embraced, that united ourselves with God. And that's so important. Pope Francis has been saying that these days he is praying much more than before because he feels need for it. I think all of us need to do that. Be united in silence with the Creator. And the third thing is silence beautifully puts us in touch with ourselves. We are so dissipated, and silence brings us together, and it guides us to act. This morning, I was thinking of a beautiful example which I read years ago. It just came back to my mind providentially. You know, they say in the Royal Navy, when they are in the high seas and there is an emergency, it seems, I don't know, they still do it. They ring the alarm, the siren goes on. And for a few seconds, and during those few seconds, everyone is invited to become silent, to recollect oneself and decide what is the best course of action to do. And once the siren ends, they all jump back into action. And that's my prayer and wish for our moment together. As the human family, we are coming together in silence. Let our silence lead to concrete action, embracing the world, embracing especially the poor, and in unity with Creator in the lap of our loving God. And thank you for this opportunity, and let's continue to be united and act together to heal, to save, to protect our common home, our common family. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Father Josh, for those wonderful, insightful and uplifting remarks. And now we're getting close to the moment of commemorating this 5-minute silence. We'll have some more speakers after the 5-minute silence dot, but for now, I'm going to throw back to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Ben. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Both those who are sharing on this special event and all of you who are watching as our hearts unite across distance. Welcome to Global Silent 5 Minutes, coming together in silence to heal our world. Let us take a deep breath together and unite our hearts across distance all around this beautiful planet we all call home, as we prepare to enter the silence for 5 minutes. Today, our global silent 5 minutes offers an opportunity to come together with a focus on planetary healing. Knowing that energy follows thought, knowing that 2 concordant thoughts increase the power 7-fold, imagine the power of millions of us, both sides of the veil, working together to restore planetary health. We know that the challenges we face will not be resolved on the level they were created. And thus we participate in silence from the deepest level of being and in cooperation with those on the other side of the veil. As we focus our collective intention on healing our world through the power of silence as action, we activate a healing process for all of life, a free flow of spirit through form. As we approach the exact time, let's review exactly what will happen. We ring a bell and enter the silence. Following the 5 minutes, we will hear a Tibetan bowl sound 12 times to gently call us back. Why ring a bell? Bells call us home. And as Thich Nhat Hanh shares, the bell calls us back to ourselves. He says, listen, listen. This wonderful sound brings me back to my true self. And the deep meaning of the bell offers humanity the opportunity to realize our relationship with and within cosmos as we listen and align in the silence to the cosmic bell, to the planetary bell, which is Mount Kailash, known in Tibet as the Mountain of the Bell, and to the bell within each one of us. So let us prepare to enter the silence. First, we take a moment to quiet ourselves. And now we take another moment to invite those on the other side of the veil. As we know, those who have withdrawn cannot impose their wills. However, if invited, there is a collective of goodwill ready and willing to assist humanity. We take that moment now. The next thing you will hear is an Indian elephant temple bell calling us into the silence as we hold the shared intention of healing our world, knowing that this comes from our understanding of our essential divinity with the oneness of life. When you hear the Tibetan singing bowl, bring yourself back to this moment, knowing that we have served as a chalice of accumulations for distribution through all life, for planetary health and well-being.
Deep gratitude, deep gratitude. Thank you for everyone who's made this possible. Our next speaker, we are very blessed to have with us Prince Ermias Selassie from Ethiopia. Prince Ermias Selassie is the grandson of Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia, and so is understood to be the living descendant of King Solomon and Queen Sheba. Prince Ermias Selassie is the president of the Crown Council of Ethiopia. Prince Ermias, it's a tremendous honor to have you with us.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. It's moments like this that make us reflect a lot about life. And in this meditation today, I like to acknowledge our priests, our mystics who pray, who meditate about our world, about our environment, about our nations, about people. And they've done it constantly without crisis. They've done it without any incentive of fear or incentive of threat or incentive of any immediacy. It's their prayers, it's their presence that sustains us all. How little we acknowledge them. And for me, these meditations make me recognize all those around the world who pray constantly in silence, in isolation, for our well-being. But for us to raise our consciousness in these times where we're threatened, where we feel vulnerable, it's also so important to acknowledge there are souls out there who do this constantly, who keep us in mind, who keep us in their prayers, who keep us in their meditation, and who keep the world, our environment, in their meditation. So in this time of fasting for us, coming up to Easter as children of God, it's important to reflect on our interconnectedness, to acknowledge those we rarely do, but who are always present, and to know that this too shall pass, as so many crises have. So I like to end with a word of hope that we have guidance and we have dedicated people and very spiritual people who will carry us through. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prince Ermias, and many blessings as we're coming up, as you rightly say, to the Orthodox celebration of Easter. So many blessings for that celebration. And thank you for being with us and bringing your lineage and your prayers to this Global Silent Minute. It's very profound, and we're very grateful to have you with us. Our next guest is a founder, Anna Marie Verhova is a founder of the Hague Center for Global Governance, Innovation and Emergence. Anna Marie is an active part of many conscious networks, including the Club of Budapest and Co-Creating Europe, and is an initiator of the Caravan of Unity Europe, along with Unity Earth. Anna Marie, it's wonderful to have you with us.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. We are an organization and a co-creative collective serving the emergence of a conscious harmonic humanity. So it really fits, and we innovate heart-centered planetary governance with all domains of life. And it is a joy to inspire and activate people to co-create the Caravan of Unity in Europe in September 2020. Acting from our hearts creates harmony and brings us inner and outer peace. And connecting to our breath can support us, as we just did, as does silence. Silence, we are taught the opposite of silence is sound, noise. Well, that can transform into song. We can choose it to be that, the song of the heart, that connects us all to the wonder of life, with all its parts, its beings, all elements, the tiniest and the greatest, the rawness and the beauty, the vulnerable and the strong, the land, the water, the wind, the sky, the moon, the sun, and beyond. I saw the stars again in Africa, and it touched our souls. To know we are all part of this one universe with the song of the cycle of birth, of life, of death and rebirth, infinity. Perhaps you can hear it when we are silent, outside and within, and let us inspire us to manifest power in love. With a heart-centered local and global governance that serves this song, rooted in coming from source, from silence, in supercoherence. Thank you.
Gorgeous. Thank you very much, Anna Marie. Beautiful. Beautiful. And our last speaker from the Unity Earth, before we go back to the broader community with some wonderful sharing to come, we're very honored to have Auntie Pat McCabe. Auntie Pat is also known by her name, Wayakpa Najiwi. Women Stand Shining, is a Dene mother, grandmother, activist, artist, writer, ceremonial leader, and international speaker. Auntie Pat is a voice for global peace and global healing, and we are tremendously honored to have you with us today, Pat.
Oh, thank you so much, Ben. It's a great honor for me to be here. So I'll say, Yat Ea Bene. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one. What a beautiful way to come together for me in this morning here in my homeland of New Mexico. And I just felt to say that, you know, in this moment, with all of us gathered here, we present ourselves as the five-fingered ones to this Mother Earth today. We present ourselves to our holy star above the sun. And I declare myself a child of this Mother Earth, supported by her, informed by her, upheld by her. We present ourselves to all the flying ones, our relatives, our elders. We present ourselves to all the swimming ones, our elders, our relatives. We present ourselves to all the four-legged ones, our elders, our relatives. And we present ourselves to all the creepy, crawly ones, our elders, our relatives. And we acknowledge the preciousness of life. This river of life that's flowing through us, flowing through all of this sacred hoop of life. One hoop of life. We open ourselves up to what is possible for us coming together in recognition of the preciousness of life. We present ourselves to all those many ancestors that came before us, going back and back and back and back, even before the understanding and realm of science, our current science, going back so far, passing through many, many difficulties. We reach back for that support, that strength, that understanding, the learning that came through our ancestors as they passed through difficult times that crossed over this Mother Earth, times that were challenging, times that were transformative. And because they navigated those times, we find ourselves here today. We present ourselves to the ancestors to come. those of you who are living the solutions that we are seeking right now, we reach out to you. We call out to you. Sing for us. We're heading your way. We're heading your way. So at this moment of pause, and in these times when we take this silence, you know, we've come to the edge of what our logical mind understands to do. So now we come into the domain of the heart, and we come into the domain of the spirit. And so in this silence, no words, we present ourselves. We present ourselves to this whole circle of life. One family, one mind, one heart, one prayer, one beautiful, sweet Mother Earth. Please receive us. Please receive us as we pause, as we have been paused, as our actions have been silenced, as we have been compelled to turn within our own homes, turn within our own being. Time to reflect. All those many whisperings that have been trying to get our attention. We have a moment to sit with you now, and we are listening. We ask to be informed by the larger community of this whole living earth and all of her creativity, her intelligence, her wisdom, her beauty. We have an opportunity to receive your instruction. We are quieted. So in this quiet, we let our hearts speak. We let our tears fall. And I invite you to collect those tears that are so far beyond words and make them an offering to the earth so she can hear you, so she can really know what is going on inside of you as a member of this beautiful community. So I greet all my relations everywhere and say that I love you and that I receive your love. We are one being, one living being, and all the life that is around us supports us. And for all my relations. Thank you.
We receive that love, Pat. Thank you so much. Our hearts are open. Our chalice is full. Gratitude. It is a joy now to welcome Estela Tustanovsky, who is with us from Santa Fe, Argentina, where Estela is a member of the House of Pax Culture, a nonprofit civil association whose aim is to work for creating the basis for a culture of peace. We collaborate together through the international Agni Yoga community. Welcome, Estela.
The space that this loving, beautiful woman that precedes us has sent to us from New Mexico. Thank you very much. Thank you. And of course, all the others that have shared their thinking and feeling about unity, about healing, about silence. Thanks to you all. So then our next step. If we are experiencing that we are all one, how will we act from now on? Those who understand, who constantly know what is really going on and feel and know we are one. Have to seed hope, joy, understanding, dispel fear, and help to anchor in earth these new energies that are coming into our planet. Better now that the clean air is surrounded our atmosphere. Awakening these energies that already are in our hearts, and from there expand them below to our loved earth and all kingdoms, and all around to our sisters and brothers in humanity. It means acting as mediator, receiving from heaven, as mediator, as a channel, as a tube, receiving the instruction, these energies from heaven, and letting them pass through our bodies and go and anchor into the earth and spread all around. With inner conviction for irradiating and saying, yes, yes, yes. We are the privileged ones that are living in earth this special moment. Those who are receiving this amazing grace. Let's do our part. Let's take our place, asking to the high every day when we wake up, which is my task today? How may I help to bring the big plan into the earth? And let's give thanks for this opportunity. All together, all as one. Thank you.
Thank you, Estella. We take another breath as we take in so much in this 1 hour that expands so beautifully for all of us. As we approach the close of our event today, the final speaker is Sister Jenna. Sister Jenna is a trusted spiritual mentor committed to bridging divides in societies and building relationships between global influencers. She is the founder and director of the Brahma Kumaris meditation museums in the metropolitan Washington, D.C. area, and host of America Meditating radio show. Sister Jenna inspires millions of us around the world through her loving presence. Welcome, Sister Jenna.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you might be. I hope you've really been receiving the energy of our gathering here in our global silent 5-minute room. Father Jostrom, you opened up my heart tremendously, and can only imagine what it's been like to be in the midst of all of this and wanting to serve people and having to do it from a portal, a camera. And to everyone that's on this particular panel, all of you who are watching, know that we're showing up because of our love and compassion for humanity. And what I'd like to do is to share a very simple message that came from my spiritual mentor, Daddy Janki, who passed away last week and a half ago of the Brahma Kumaris. She was 104 years old. And one of the things that Daddy loved the most was silence. And one of the things that she told me was my power. She said, it's in your silence, not necessarily in your words. And I wanted to share this with all of you watching in. Silence is about finding what lies deep inside us beyond the mind. This is why there is an expression, go into silence. It means to become introverted, to withdraw from the senses, which are otherwise very busy, trapping us in all sorts of external things. In extroversion, we are ruled by what the eyes see and what the ears hear. And this has become our habit. We constantly look and talk about things going on around us. However, just observe the poor quality of such conversations. But with introversion, we turn within and become aware of how our thoughts are working inside. We see our negative, unnecessary thoughts, which take away our strength and make us spiritually weak. And they cause pain and a sense of loss of peace. But in silence, and in this global silent 5 minutes of silence, we will be able to separate ourselves from our thoughts and come into the silence of God. God's incorporeal silence is like an underground spring. We dig deep. We dig deep down into it, and then it is there to quench us. It means to bring ourselves into the presence of God, and the experience is beyond words. It brings truth to us. So, not quite sure if you're aware, but our silence has been really accumulating since December 21st of 2019. And the fact that even Sri Ravi Shankar started it 2 days ago in India, amongst all the spiritual leaders, it's rippling. And now here we are in America, holding this collective silence. So I invite you, at whatever cost, not just when this program is over, but to pause every hour on the hour, go into your silence, pull God down here, and spread that healing energy of peace on the planet. Break away from your attachments to your labels and limits, and you will automatically feel the power of your own silence. And that's what the planet and the world needs to heal right now. So I invite you into that space. And thank you for joining us. It means a lot that you took the time to tune in here, to participate in something so invisible, but will be so visible. Thank you on behalf of all of us.
Heartfelt gratitude, Sister Jenna, and everyone you can see, and all of you who are connected in this great grid around the planet of love and loving intention. Yes, may we meet in the silence daily. And may the spirit of peace, as we feel the healing balm of the Mother of the world, be spread abroad in our hearts, through our groups, and throughout the world. Om Shanti.